check on the rep. Yep, second and none.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Jay. So I know I'm a little bit behind on this one. I reviewed Leo, put that up a few months back. Didn't do the rest. I recorded them, but I never uploaded them. So I'm going to splice all of the reviews for Raph, Mikey, and Don together and have just one combined review. So here it is. All right, we got Ralph outside the package. Kidding. I know it's not Ralph. It's Raph. We got Raph outside the package. I hate when people call him Ralph. But we got him outside the package now. Changed up the setup. So if you notice, the white sheet is gone. The white padding is gone. I changed things around a little bit. Hopefully I'll get my review room set up soon. I need to find the right table to go off the wall, so that I can, I want to stand up and do these. I don't want to sit down anymore and do these. I want to kind of stand up, not be on the floor or be like on a couch or something. I want to be able to stand up or sit like on a stool and be higher up. But we'll get to that when it happens. It should be in the next couple months. We'll see. But yeah, let's get back to the review here. We got my man Raph outside the package, looking dope. It's got alternate heads, alternate hands. Like I said with Leo, the accessories are a little bit light. I'm not feeling that the accessories are so light. I think they could have used more stuff. Like Raph had skates in the intro and in that one episode. Throw some extra goodies in there from the cartoon or from the show. Just some random things, man. Just the accessories being so light doesn't feel like there should be a $55 figure, you know? Or I don't know, I think 55 now, or is it 60? I can't remember. But like, it seems like the prices are going up and the accessories are going down. I mean, they could at least given us a shell cell that was closed, or one that actually opened and closed, something like that, right? But yeah, they got to do better with the accessories. So with that being said, the only other gripe that I have is with the weapons. With Leo and Raph, how the weapons are kind of like in this molded color. It's like molded white. And it looks like that glow in the dark plastic. You know how it's like white and then you throw it in the dark and it glows? It looks like that. But I think it would have really benefited with a silver paint on there, like a nice silver or metallic paint, and that would have really popped. And they're a bit short. Like size, they come in different sizes, but in this cartoon, I feel like they should be a little bit longer. They feel really short. Like, I think even his are bigger. Like, if you look at the old school Playmates version, like, his size are longer. So it's like, wow, what are they doing? And it's like that flimsy plastic. I feel like it's got a little bit of give to it. But like, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought at first. It's got a little give to it, but I think if you push it a little too much, it'll bend or it'll start to crack, have those white lines in it. But the size and the lack of accessories is the only thing that's killing this wave right now. You know what I mean? Should have had a lot more accessories, and the weapon should have been painted as silver and a little bit longer for Raph's side. Other than that, since I started off with the accessories first, we'll jump right into that. So he comes with the size. Not really feeling the white, but it's cool with the red wrap around it and the yellow tip at the end of the side there. So nice colors on that. Could have used a little bit more color with the silver, but that's all right. Then it comes with the shell cell. Same one as Leo's, Mikey's, Don's. They're all the same. I feel like they should have came with a closed version, but, you know, that's just me. So there's some nice detail on there. So it's straight open. We don't get a closed one. I feel like that was a missed opportunity. And then it comes with 2 grabbing hands. And you could grab the size. And then 2 open palm hands, or your high threes. And 2 fisticuffs. And then we'll get into the extra head later when I swap it out. So pretty much you're getting the same exact figure with Leo. That's why these reviews are going to be kind of short, because it's like the same exact figure. Only difference is the colors and the heads. So that's pretty much, and of course the signature weapons, but you know. Yeah, he's got that nice dark green. He's darker than the old school figure. I don't know what Playmates was doing with these. Like, they look cool. I admit, like, I loved these when I was, younger. Whenever this show came out, 2003. I think I was like, whew, how old was I? 19, probably about 20 years old when this show came out. 2000, yeah, just about. So, yeah, and I love this show. And I love the figures, but now that we have, like, actual cartoon versions of these figures, man, this thing is awesome. These figures are dope. The colors are so accurate. The shell is accurate. At first, when I saw the images when Super 7 first released it, I'm like, yo, Raph and Mikey don't have a place to store their weapons. That's easily, corrected, because these belts are super soft. So you could just slide the weapons right in there, man. Just like that. Boom. I of course, I wasn't thinking that when I first saw the images. Oh, man, there's scuff marks on here. Hopefully I can get those out. But yeah, I wasn't thinking that when I first saw the images. But now that I see it, in hindsight, I was like, how's that going to work? Soft belts. So you can stick the size right in there. That's perfect. And Mikey's is the same, too. You could just stick his nunchucks right in the belt there. But yeah, looking good. Colors are great. With the exception of this little mark on his arm here, everything looks good. Same thing with Leo. You could pop out the bandana pieces, just like the NECA figures. You could swap out that. Pop that in there like that. So, everything like that is so accurate to the cartoon, with the lines on the face and everything, and the way the chins are sculpted. Man, these figures are great. Love them. So I literally have them sitting in front of my TV because these are like probably my favorite turtles now, man. I think these are probably my favorite, other than the maybe the Ultimates of the NECA line. But man, these things are dope. So we got that. A great a great replacement for my old school figures. And I just can't wait to see Shredder and Han and Splinter and Casey. Like, April, I can't wait to see all those guys in hand. They should be dropping probably early next year, 2026. So we'll see. Hopefully everything's on schedule with that. Let's take a look at the other head here with the crazier looking bandana piece. So that's swappable as well. So you can just pop that right there, and we're going to swap his head out real quick, see how that head looks. My dog's over here gnawing on her bone. Hi, Shadow. So it's pretty easy to swap the heads out like that. You hear that snap. Now we got pissed off Raph. Yo, he looks crazy, man. One eye's squinted. Probably yelling at Mikey for something. Looking good, man. So let's get into the articulation real quick. So we got the head on the ball joint here. You can get that to the right, to the left. We can get that up like that. My voice is going out for some reason. You can get it down like that. It's on a double ball joint. So you got the ball joints at the top of the head and at the neck. And then you got the ball joints at the shoulders. So you can move that all the way up like that. You can move that down. You can move that forward. And trying to get it back is going to be a pain, though, because the shell's in the way. So you're going to have limited articulation trying to move the arm backwards. But everywhere else is pretty good. Then you have the bicep swivel right there. Then you got double joints at the elbows. That's new for these figures. And then you have the hinge that goes up and down, like the He-Man hold aloft wrist going up and down. And with the fisticuffs, they go forward and back. And with the open palm, they go forward and back. So you can get a range of, oh no, put that back in there like that. So with that, you can get a range of motion like this. I hate how that's coming out so easy though. And then you got a waist swivel right there. You can get it about that far. Not too much movement. I don't want to break that, so I'm going to take that out. And then you have the ball joints at the thighs there. And then you got the double joints at the knees. And then you got the hinge and the rocker at the ankle. And that wraps it up for articulation. So that's all in all. These I think these are really great figures. Lack of accessories kind of knocks them a peg down. I'm digging the soft, like it reminds me of the Mezco figures, how they have like the soft goods knee pads. It reminds me of those. I don't know if the Playmates Super 7 versions have that. I gotta go back and take a look and pop those out of the box real quick. But other than that, I think these figures are great. They just need to step it up with the accessories and maybe be a little bit more accurate when it comes to the color of the swords. So I'm worried about the Sword of Tengu, how that's going to come out. I'm kind of worried about that. But I think Mikey and Donnie's weapons look pretty good, so we'll get into those figures next. And that's going to wrap it up for my man Raph here. So I'm going to set him up on my shelf again and get the next one down for review. And I'm going to catch you guys on that one, which is going to be Mikey. So until then, peace. All right, we got Mikey outside the package here. Looking pretty good. I still don't know what the inspiration was behind this one. I don't get it, but I loved these figures back then. And then we got the actual freaking, like, screen accurate, tune accurate turtles now. This is a dream come true, man. I've been waiting for these for like 20-something years, man. So, finally got these in hand. They look great. The only gripes I got a few gripes. Not a whole lot, just a couple. Just the overall paint job on it's always my Mikey. For some reason, my Mikey on the other Super 7 Mikey from the Playmates recreation line, my Mikey had like orange just dripping down like his face from the bandana. And then this Mikey's got some paint splotches on him. Got one big one on his face. It's always Mikey. I don't know why it's always him. Got a huge one right there. And then just paint is sloppy, a little sloppy on him. Other than that, everything else looks pretty good. There's not much paint-wise going on with this guy because a lot of it's molded in that colored plastic. So this is molded in green, molded in, green in the back, molded in brown. So there's not a whole lot of paint going on here except for maybe like right there, and the eyes, inside the mouth. And like a few areas, there's a little bit of a black wash. You can barely see it though. I don't even know if it comes through on camera, but there's a little bit of a wash here, on the shins, on the legs a little bit. But other than the paint job and lack of accessories, I think these figures are a hit, man. I would, even if I wasn't a huge TMNT 2003 fan, I would pick these up anyway. But let's get into it. I don't know, I'm like, that's a nice, I like this pose for some odd reason. I just like them like that. Just kind of just chilling there, put the chucks in the hand, but I'll get back to that later. These guys are good. A lot of articulation. Expressions are really on point. That's an on point expression. That's straight out the tune right there. Same body though. The same body for all four turtles. We're not going to get any variations of bodies until we get to Shredder and Splinter. So they're all pretty much the same, just different belts and different heads and accessories. So this body's pretty much the same. You're going to get the same articulation in the head. So you can move that right to the left, up, down. Got that double ball jointed neck, so you can move that all the way around like that. Got ball joints at the shoulders here, so you can move that all the way around like that. Up, down, that's about as high as you're going to get it. You got the swivel at the bicep. You got double joints at the elbows with the soft plastic here for the elbow pads. Then you have the swivel and hinge at the wrist. This is the Prince Adam Hold Aloft sword kind of hand right there that just flipped off. Let me go grab that. They come out really easily. I guess it's better than NECA's where it takes forever to pop them out. But, I mean, it's easy if you're, popping them out like that. Or pressing too hard. And it's not going to break. It feels kind of decent where it's not going to break if you push too hard like I just did. But yeah, these are the aloft ones where they go up and down instead of forward and backwards. The other two hands, where I'll get into later, those go forward and backwards. Then we got a little bit of like articulation in the waist there, so you can move that side to side. Of course, no ab crunch because they're turtles. They ain't got no abs. Then you got the ball joints at the legs here. You can get these out. My joints are super tight, so you can get those all the way up there like that. And then you got the double joints at the knees, also soft plastic here for the knee pads. And then you got this crazy rocker joint like that. And hinge that where you can, let's see how high you can get that. About that high. And then you got pegs for if you want to have this little dog. Stop. Stop, little dog. Jeez, Shadow. Pain in the butt. And then you have the pegs at the bottom of the feet if you want to put them on a stand or something like that. So yeah, all in all, pretty good figure. Not gonna lie, I do like the weight to it. There's some weight. Doesn't feel cheap. Plastic feels pretty good. All in all, I like these figures, man. I can't wait to see more from this line and what they do with it, man. I don't know what they're doing with the Playmates recreations. I have no idea what's going on with that, but I'm a big 2003 fan, so I can't wait to see more. They should be, Wave 2 should be hitting around early next year. I'm not exactly sure when. So if I get an email or update, I'll let you guys know. So we're going to put him off to the side real quick. Stand him up like that next to his counterpart. Let's get into some of these accessories, man. So we got, pick them back up because we got to do them hands. So we got to do the grabbing hands here, and he grabs his weapons pretty good. No complaints there. So he grabs his chucks, spin those bad boys around like that. And then you've got, like I said before, you got the fisticuffs here, and then the hinge joint goes forwards and backwards. And then you have the relaxed hands where the hinge also goes forward and backwards. Then, let's get into the shell cell here. Still think they should have came with one that's closed. Because having it open all the time is just like, okay, then what's he going to do with the open shell cell? I don't know. But they should have came with one that's closed and you can put it in his belt or something. Just have it an extra accessory just hanging around. And then the other problem... man, my voice is like cracking. Voice is going out. The other problem that I found with these is that it's hard to put the shell cell in the hands. The hands are so tight, I'm not even going to try to attempt it on camera, that it's hard to even get him to hold it. So they might want to revisit that territory a little bit of trying to get the shell cell in the hand if you want to actually have them on the phone. Other than that, cool accessory. Lots of little details hidden in there. I'm not even sure which way you're supposed to hold it. If this is up or down. You can see all the little buttons on there. There's the there's a screen right there. And talking to it really would have benefited for a closed version though. That would have been so dope. And then we have a loud motorcycle outside. Jeez, that guy's loud. Alright, you can stop revving your engine, dude. That was actually a muscle car. Old muscle car. And he's just revving his engine up the street. Okay. Anyway, then we got the chucks. So we got these. A little bit of paint work on the chucks at the end here. The orange and the yellow at the handle. And then these will pop off like this. So they both pop off. Both sides. And I'll show you why they both pop off in a minute. And you get two of these. And they both pop off because I think this might be the first Michelangelo that gets two spinning chucks. I think this might be the first one. Usually they only come with one, but I think this might be the first Mikey that comes with two. So that's cool. Hey, big ups to Super 7 for doing that. So you're going to pop that off like that. And then you're going to plug it in. Let me see. Got the wrong piece there. Then you're going to plug this piece into here. And then you got your spinning chucks that he can hold. And there's two of them, which is fantastic. Love it. Love it. So that's cool. The only thing is, man, where everybody else, not fails, but where everybody else is kind of like not doing, is having the Mezco nunchucks where they actually have the wire inside the nunchuck. and then you could actually move it around and kind of have it however you want to. I think that's the most innovative nunchuck I've ever seen, and I think more companies should start doing that instead of having the loose chucks. I mean, this is cool. You can spin this around all day. I mean, that's cool. But like being able to pose it, having that wire in there is such a cool idea. So I'm kind of with Mezco on that one, but it is cool that they're implementing real chains and stuff like that so you can spin it around. And then just going back to the spinning chucks, that looks cool. That's a really cool accessory right there. Definitely gonna have that as my main. He's gonna be just spinning his chucks all day. This is really cool. Nice translucent piece, and then there's some paint work in there. Looks really cool. Love it. And then that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the 2003 Super 7 X Nickelodeon Mikey. So great figures. Little bit lacking on the accessories. Could have had a few more things. Gotta work out those hands so they could hold the shell cell. Other than that, these figures are pretty dope. I would suggest if you go out there, I don't know if they're on Amazon or not. I'm not even sure how to get these anymore because I ordered mine from Super 7. You might be able to still get them from Entertainment Earth from what I remember. So yeah, go pick these up, man. Like don't slack on these guys. These guys are pretty dope. So with that being said, if you liked the video, like, subscribe. Just get out there and do it. Like and subscribe, because that helps me, and that makes me want to make more videos for y'all. So do that. Thank y'all for being here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. And peace. All right, last but not least, we're going to get into Donatello here outside the package. You know what we're working with already. You know what it is. Same thing as all the other turtles. Same body, different heads, different accessories. Light on the accessories. We're going to keep this one short and sweet because it's like repetitive at this point. So you got the same articulation as Leo, Raph, Mikey, and Donnie. Get that fuzz off of there. Different heads. Great expressions on this guy. So like that's just straight out of the cartoon. This one looks like he's looking at Mikey like, what did you say, bro? Love it. Love it. Very light on the accessories, man. I can't harp on that enough though, because like I think this could have came with like in the intro where he had the bike. I think he was on the bike. One of them had the bike. I can't remember which one had which. But yeah, like just one or two more accessories, closed shell cell, something like that would have been perfect. Pretty good paint job overall from what I can tell on him. A lot better than Mikey. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to waste money getting another figure because of the paint job, but then it's kind of like, kind of irks me a little bit when the paint job is kind of like all over the place. Other than that, let's get into the, man, there's so much dust on this. Maybe I should have reviewed this back when I got it. Now, articulation, I'll get it. I'll spit it out. I'll get it. And that's why I'm doing these videos straight off the cuff now from now on. I'm not going back and redoing them, and I'm just going to make myself look like an idiot the first time. Instead of trying to make it all neat and clean and polished. Let's do it straight off the cuff, baby. So we're going to do it one try. I was originally, fun fact, I was originally going to name this channel one take reviews or something along the lines of like one take reviews or, you know, one shot reviews, where it's like I do it in one shot, no editing, except when I want to throw a picture up or something like that. But that didn't really pan out, and it turned into what it is. But maybe I will eventually merge myself into that. We'll see what happens in the future. But back to articulation, we're gonna go to the left, to the right, up, down, heads on a ball joint, so you get that neck articulation in there too. Solid joints, so you got the ball joint at the shoulder there, biceps swivel, elbows double jointed. You got the hinge and the rocker joint at the wrist. Wrists are a little loose, but I don't think it'll be an issue with the bow, holding the bow. I don't think he's going to just do one of those on you. Articulation a little bit at the waist there. And then you got the ball joints at the thighs. You can get that up that high. Double jointed at the knees. Hinge and that crazy rocker at the ankles. Plus the pins for any stands that you might want to put this guy on. Now, As for colors, he's spot on to the cartoon. Gotta love the coloring on this guy. He does have a little bit of a wash like the other ones. It's like a darker green, kind of in like the upper shoulder right here, and a little bit on the shins. So you can, I don't know how well it comes across. Actually, you can see it on screen pretty good. Ah, okay. With him, you can see it a little bit better. And then a little bit right here in the middle and the chest. Looks really good. Got a spot for the bow. I missed the days where Donatello came with 2 bow staffs. Remember those days? Pepperidge Farm remembers those days. Yeah. But this Donatello, unfortunately, only comes with 1 bow staff. Yeah, just 1. But that's all right, though. This bow staff here is going to be a solid piece. Nothing crazy. He didn't have any crazy contraptions coming out of his bow staff back in this cartoon. So it's just the solid bow. Got the purple band. I believe it looks like it's molded, but it looks like it's molded in that purple, but it's got to be painted in that purple paint right there. Let's see what else is going on here. Got the grooves in there. Maybe could have did a little wash in between those grooves. That would have been nice. So there's the bow staff. 1 shell cell that does not close. So we got that. Comes with grabbing hands to grab his bow staff with. And when I had him holding his bow, he was holding it with no problem. So you just get that on where it's wrapped up there. Push that on there like that. And he holds it with no problem. So, and even with the weaker, that thing, even with the weaker wrist joint, it's still like, it's not like tipping the bow staff over or anything like that. So that's cool. We'll put that back. So 2 grabbing hands, and it comes with some fisticuffs here. And then it comes with the open hands. No variation in hands. It's pretty much, they come with the standard hands. They all come with the same exact hands. There's no variation or anything. Still think they could benefit from a hand that actually would hold the shell cell. So that would be nice. But yep, that's just me. We'll see what happens when they start eventually doing variants of the turtles. You know they're going to do variants, so you know we're going to get that eventually 8 years down the road. Anyway, it comes with a set of goggles. Goggles are pretty nice. Soft plastic, so you can put those around his head. I'm going to keep mine around the neck. So you got that blue around the rim there. Nice little silver highlight in the middle. Good grief, girl. And then you got the black there, and it's kind of like a glossy paint, so it's kind of reflective. I kind of like that. And then we'll put it on his head. Let's see which one this will work on. This girl needs to hush, girl, hush, 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 hush. She's like, shut up. I'm trying to alert you to something. And I'm gonna, hold on, 1 second. I'm gonna go off screen for like a second. Okay, so that's not bad. So what you might have to do is put it down underneath that ball there so that you could actually put the bandana piece back on and it won't come off. And you can rock his goggles. So that's pretty cool. But most likely I'm going to have mine like around his neck. And then as for the last accessory, he's going to come with the other head here. So you can just pop off the head that he's got on. Pop this head, pop that off, pop this one on. I think I said that wrong. See, I'm making mistakes and you're catching it. No polishing, no nothing. You're just gonna hear the mistakes and all that stuff. And there you go with the new head. And of course, like with all the others, you can pop out the bandana piece, and it comes with 2. It comes with that like the one that's kind of like swaying in the wind, and then you got the regular one. You can pop that off and put that on here. And boom, there you go. You got a new way to display this guy. And that pretty much wraps it up for the 2003 Turtles. Took me forever, good grief. But yeah, I like these guys. My favorite version of the Turtles. They look sweet. Just need more accessories. You know what they should have done was instead of giving us more heads, they should have given us more accessories. Like the, what is it, Shredder, Splinter, and Foot Pack, and Casey. They actually came with some accessories. I think there's like an Utrom in there, and like a Sword of Tengu that glows in the dark, even though Shredder comes with the Sword of Tengu already. And I forgot what else. I gotta go back and check. But yeah, like more heads is cool. With more expressions is pretty dope. I'll get into that in the next video. But more accessories, and maybe more than 4. Maybe give us like an actual like pack of like accessories. That would be dope. That's something special. So anyway, that's gonna wrap it up for Mr. Donatello here. I'm gonna take a look at these next. Can't wait to pop these open and get them on and show you where they came from. So until next time, like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one, man, and peace. All right, and finally, it's been forever. It's been 84 years. We're gonna take a look at the bonus accessory pack that only came with the figures if you ordered directly from Super 7. So if you notice, I'm gonna do this without dropping anybody, because I literally picked up something and everything spilled. These, dusty, dust. These are from the intro of the cartoon, except maybe Donatello. I think he might be off a little bit, but that's from the intro. That's from the intro. That's from the intro. His is a little off to me, but yeah, that's where we get the extra heads from. So let's pop on these extra heads and see what they look like. So bear with me as I cut this open carefully. Keyword being carefully, because I am not the most careful guy in the world. Me and knives? Shoot. Okay, we got it open. That's what it looks like. Just 4 heads. All right, who should we do first? Let's get Mikey out the way, because he's like right there. So let's push this out the back. And from the look of it, let me see. Do I have anybody else's other bandana on? Let me see what. Okay, I think it's the same bandana. Oh, it might be different. Now I gotta know. Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's the same. So the second bandana that you get on the extra heads in the packs are the same one that's on here. The one that's kind of like waving in the wind. So that's what you get. That's Mikey up close with the winking eye and the cheesy grin. Shoot, I might have to switch this head, man. I want that one on now. Is my Mikey's paint job good? Let's find out. Dang it, it's always Mikey. It's always him with the extra paint, man. Always. It's always Mikey. Every single time. Both heads have like a terrible paint job. And this one. Maybe Michelangelo. My Michelangelo luck is just terrible. But that's what he looks like with the new head on. I can't believe that. That's just... I don't even get that. Alright, let's do Leo next. Good grief. So we got Leo. We're going to take off this head. We're going to pop on this one. Come on. Do it without breaking your swords. I didn't hear that pop, so, but it's on there. A very calm, zen-like expression for Leonardo. Very nice, very nice. Next. We'll put them there like that. And NECA also, well, actually this is NECA, but this is Super 7, but NECA makes these stands, like headstands. They're black. You can get them from Target. They're like these little black stands. I don't have one here, but you could actually change the ball part on the top and adjust them to whatever size you need, and then you could have little headstands for your extra heads. So I'm gonna probably do that. have I'll have to get like a few packs. I think 3 come in a pack, which is kind of suckish because it's a lot of money for just 3. But if you got old Masters of the Universe classics or any figure that comes with an extra head, they even work for Mondo stuff. So some heads won't work, and then you kind of got to fudge it. But then most generic heads with the ball joint pretty much work for those stands. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome for having a display and then having the extra heads be able to be displayed as well. Let's do Raphael next. So he's got his angry grin on, and he's gonna put his even angrier grin on. So put that head to the side. I can't wait till I get my new table. It's not gonna be dark where you could see all the fuzz. Like, I wiped this table off before I started doing this today, and this table is dirty already. So when I get my review table, it's gonna be something where you can't see dust. All right, then we got Rav's head on, like that. That is nice. He is pissed. Love that. Put that off to the side. And Donatello. Gonna pop off this head, keep the goggles on. Pop on your new head here. No pop, come on. It's on there. It just didn't pop the way I like it to pop. That's a weird expression for Donatello. You know what he reminds me of? That expression reminds me of the old, what are those called? With the shells, where you open up the shells? Storage shell turtles? That's exactly what this reminds me of. That cheesy grin one of those. That's funny. I'm probably going to use this one. Yeah, this is probably the best expression for Donatello so far. This one is just, I don't know, it's out there. So, yep, there we have all 4 lined up. Got the new heads on there. Some are perfect. Some are a little off. And some are good with a bad paint job. So that's going to wrap it up for the review of all these guys and their heads. And I can move on to other turtles. What other turtles could they be? We'll find out soon. Like, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.